Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Killer B, the doggone Witch Finder General. You got Witch, I'm burning them up. Yo, we're gonna do this stream tonight with my main man, Siberius the Sleeping Serpent. He's back again in action, so we're gonna have a little cult talk tonight. I just did this on the fly. I wanted to go live tonight for somebody, and I don't know. We get things popping. Siberius is here now. At the stage.
Yo, what
All right.
up?
What up, man?
What's going on?
What up? What up? Not much, not much, not much. So yeah, we can get this thing popping tonight. I have a feeling this is gonna be a great show. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those. You know what I'm saying? We already got a couple of one of those, like, you know what I mean? We got a couple of shows that's pretty, like, you know what I'm saying, epic and shit. So
Oh yeah, I always take people, take them back to the archive to show them some of the great stuff we've done in the past.
yep, for sure, for sure. So yeah, I want to tell everybody to hit the like button on the way in. Don't forget to hit the goddamn like button, please, please. If you'd like to become a supporter of the group, of the channel, you can send me a donation, Cash App, or preferably Cash App, or you can send through one of the YouTube donation portals, like Super Chat, Super Stickers, and Super Like, all that stuff, right? A donation of any amount, you get added to the list at the bottom of the screen. So see all those names, you get added to that list. So you be shouted out every live stream that I do from here on out. And I'll also do you a personalized thank you video, just for as a thank you for your donation. See, we got some people in the room already. That's good. Yeah, I put the link in the chat. Let's see the link right there. There's the link right there in the chat. You guys can hit that if anybody will come out here and talk. And yeah, so I don't know. I got a couple things I wanted to start off with, talk about demons, divination, and demons. I want to start with that.
Okay. So, you have to start off with the concept of as above, so below. If there's good people and bad people, then there must be good demons and bad demons, and there also must be good angels and bad angels. So when people think of demons, of course, in the monolithic mind frame that all demons are bad or evil or out to get you.
Right.
And in my experience, that's just not the case. You have to look at it. You have to find examples in your day-to-day life. So when you think about energy, okay, or when God cast all the rebellious angels out of heaven and into the abyss, if you were to ask me, and of course I don't know this, and no one truly knows because we only know what we've experienced. But if I had to bet, hell or where those angels were sent were outside of the physical universe, because what we do know is that the physical universe is a infinite nothing sprinkled with a little bit of something, which is the suns and the planets and the moons and this and that.
Right.
And everything that is physical that exists in our universe is positively charged. Now, in practice, you can look at it as the positive and negative wires on the battery of your car, even though in actuality, the negative wire on your battery isn't a true negative in the concept of demons are a true negative. Like antimatter would equate to what a demon is, a truly negatively charged substance or a thing, okay, or object. The negative wire on the battery of your car is more like a ground. It's not truly negative, but in the way that it interacts with the positive, it sort of fits the script, fits the shoe.
Right.
So knowing that and understanding that demons are truly negatively charged, which means that they cannot physically exist in our universe,
Hmm.
and they are essentially blocked out of interacting with us here in the physical, positively charged universe that we live in. So they must interact with us through singularities. Now, what is a singularity? It is something that does not abide by relativity, or a simpler way of saying that is time space. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, and I think because they were once angels, now angels are positively charged beings, and you'll hear a lot of occultic practitioners tell you that in actuality, despite what many would believe is that working with angels is much harder and much more dangerous than working with demons.
Could you looking at a positive angel as, say, like in voodoo, like when you got like the hot spirits?
Um, I think a hot spirit in voodoo is more so temperament, not a energetic structure. Would be
Okay,
a way I would
all right.
say it.
I
Yeah,
thought you was
yeah.
gonna kind of lead into that, like, you know what I mean, like saying like how they're hard to work with, they're more dangerous, because they would say that about like with the Rada spirits and stuff in
Well,
voodoo.
well,
That they're dangerous to work with.
angels are more dangerous because they are positively charged, and just like I am positively charged,
Right,
and I could walk up and smack the fuck out of you. Essentially, so can an
right,
angel. Okay. Now,
yeah,
angels take advantage of this when it comes to working with them. And let me kind of circle back around to the demons, because they can only interact through singularities. Now we have to look at what in our day-to-day life that we interact with is a singularity. Uh, and I would think that first and foremost would be emotion, and the way that I can
okay,
prove that. Now, a singularity, of course, does not abide by time space. Us as physical humans, we are forced to abide by time space. That means that we cannot go forward or backward in time, but your emotions can. If you have ever had anyone who is a loved one that has died in the past, and you think about them in the present and you shed a tear, okay, well, that was a physical manifestation of something that has come from the past, that's happened from the past. So, like, your emotions, love and hate, those do not abide by time space. So, demons, now that I've sort of laid the groundwork for what a demon actually is,
uh-huh,
they have to interact with you through an emotional conduit. Now, I'll say this too,
ooh,
because they are
ooh,
so
ooh. Go
eager,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I hope I
be-
don't lose it
because,
as you go out, but go ahead.
because they are so eager to interact with the positively charged physical plane, they are willing to operate on credit, like the term making a deal with the devil. Okay. So you make a little down payment, or you just make a promise, and then they do something for you, but then you owe on the back end.
Right.
Angels,
But before you jump there, because I'm gonna lose it because you went off of what I had wanted to say. So
okay.
when you talk about the emotion thing, would you say they're more likely to manifest uh through people emotions, or work through people emotions or intent?
Well, when I said emotional conduit, it's sort of like a good example would be, um, a lot of people always say, never lie to me no matter how much it hurts. Okay. Perhaps bringing treachery to light in order for you to maybe stop wasting your time with someone, or to essentially hurt you so that you can grow from the experience. Um, and actually, in my experience, that has happened quite a bit. People, especially when it comes to relationships, You see about the treachery that people do that, and then they find out. But how much treachery has been committed that no one has never known about, nor will ever know about? So, sort of bringing something like that to light would be a way that that a demon could possibly interact with you here in the physical world. Uh, Let me circle back around where I was going. So, angels, because they know that they essentially exist here with us, they do not operate on credit. They operate with what I like to say cash money. And by cash money, I mean sacrifice. And more times than not, it is a physical sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, for example, the what's that movie called? The movie is called A Dark Song, where they do the Abramelin procedure, where they have to do these incantations and magic squares and all this
Oh, I never
months and
saw that.
months of fasting and strict diets and abstinence from sex, all for her to finally see the angel at the end of the movie. Well, she had to pay all that suffering and sacrifice up front. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to see the movie. It's called A Dark Song. Very good movie. Um, but everyone knows with when you make a deal with the devil, there is no upfront sacrifice. Now you may be in a low place, but that was before there was ever any spiritual involvement. That was because you're retarded. You know what I'm saying? That was all you're doing. Um,
Okay.
like asking the devil to turn you into the greatest guitar player ever, but you never sacrificed the time to become the greatest guitar player ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Now, if you were to do that same deal with the devil, I mean, with an angel, you would first must learn how to be the best guitar player ever in order to strike a deal with an angel.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So you said an angel will work like that, and a demon will work like where you have to like you can just
Demons
pay
work
late.
on credit. Demons work on credit. Angels work on cash up front.
So that's where you learn you fall into problems when you do shit on credit. Just like in real life, you do shit
Well,
on
yeah.
credit. There's always
Okay.
some extra bullshit that
Yeah.
nigga could take like on the side. Like, you know
Yes.
what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. And it's
So
not
like
even.
you
It's
you
not
you
even.
be the best guitar player, but then you'll might go blind and shit. You can't see, but you can
No.
play the shit out the motherfucking guitar.
No, it's not like that. So actually, this is where the actual fault comes in. There's no trickery on the back end. It's that you know, with me and R.I.P. Blackbird, me and him have done some things that are so crazy and so far out and so beyond that I sometimes catch myself disbelieving what I saw. Okay. So let's say you see an omen that directly lines up with a demonic entity that you were trying to work with. And what's the word I'm looking for? Oh,
Hit the like
and you
button,
tell
everybody on
and
the
you
way
tell
in.
yourself it's just a coincidence, and it's another coincidence, until finally your coincidence jar is spilling over, but you still throw all these signs into your mental jar of coincidences,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, "Ah, none of that shit was fucking real. This happened, and this thing happened, and this thing happened, and that's how I got there wasn't no demonic interaction. This was all me." And that's when you fuck up. Okay, because here's another thing too. In order for magic to work, the
You have to put
the physical world is the key. Okay,
yeah.
if
Yep.
you want to meet the love of your life, you can't live at home at your mama's house and just do nothing but sit on the couch. You got to go
Yo, and
out
eat
there and get a
pancakes and shit.
great job and get in
Yep.
great shape, get your hair cut, and learn good
Yep.
social skills, and get a nice vehicle and a nice house. You know,
Yep.
so
Yep.
and that's our thing, and people tend to like you've even told me stories where you sort of didn't pay what you was supposed to fucking pay,
Yep.
and
This
that's
wagon
when
nigga.
yeah, and
Yep.
that's when the bullshit happens. And I
Yeah.
promise you, you give me the information, and I can show you. And this is where the term root work comes from. It doesn't the term root work does not come from working with roots. It comes from the root of a problem, and 9 times out of 10, that root is an emotional problem from the
Yeah.
past. And that's why the element of water is associated with emotion, and it's also associated with the past.
Huh. You know what I'm thinking? I was doing some candle reading the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, it was weird. Nah, it's deep. It just triggered something I was thinking about, and what I was doing. I'll look at the candle. Like, go ahead, let's talk. I don't want to stop you because you know how I get.
Oh no, that's cool. I kind of came to a pause there. If you got any other questions or anything?
Yeah. Anybody out there that have any questions or anything like that? Will somebody appear and start kissing when you're a Chad, even if you're practically a bum? I think that's just somebody like trolling and stuff. I think I know who
Yeah.
the girl.
Well, I am a Chad, so things have changed since I've been on this motherfucker, boy. I done made some huge changes.
Yeah. Yup. Yup. Um, I never see food, water, and music. Don't get crazy up in this motherfucker and shit. You find out how we get down over here. So I'm a Chad too. But divination, when say who might someone be dealing with starting out with divination? Should when you do divination say like with tarot, is the cards telling you the thing, or is there a spirit behind the cards?
Okay.
What kind of spirit behind the cards? Are there different spirits that attach to the cards, or any other kind of divination? You might be working with dice, you might be using water, you might be
Right,
using
right.
this and that. Is there certain um spirits or whatever, a certain type of or demon or whatever? Like, what are you dealing with, an ancestor, or so is it something that um this is what happens if you do this, or does it have to do with who you are and what
Okay.
comes to deal with you?
So I'll use the funny metaphor that I used with you when you were asking me this question a couple weeks ago. So the thing about divination, and I would say that you need to have a connection, and it could be an angel, a demon, it could be a what I like to call a mortal spirit, which is the spirit of a human or someone that has once lived and has not yet passed on to the other side, and could be earthbound by some reason or another.
Yeah.
Um, you definitely want to have a ties to one singular entity. Uh, because doing divination is leaving it open to the universe for anyone to sort of latch on, or anything to latch on. I told you it's like sticking your willy through a glory hole, not knowing who's on the other side. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that because you might
Yup.
hear you say, "Damn,
Yup.
you know what you're doing," and then you hear, "Oh, appreciate it." You don't want to hear that. So you have to understand too. There's good people and bad people, so there are good spirits and bad spirits, and not all spirits are benevolent beings. There are for sure monsters on the other side. The franchise Insidious is a great example. Um, Now they've got their theatrics and they make them look super scary. What you also have to realize is that these energies have no physical form. They can be, if they were to even be able to show themselves to you, they could take whatever form they wanted to take. There is no physical form to these beings. There's nothing visually to be afraid of, but what there is to be afraid of is the intention. Okay. Um, so you definitely want to have ties to something that you're comfortable with and something that you kind of align with. Okay. So, and let's kind of get into divination. There's so many different types of divination. Like you've kind of picked up uh, the leaf technique. Some people use dice. Some people use a tarot deck. Me, for example, I use regular playing cards to read tarot. I don't use an actual tarot deck. I use regular, like you're playing blackjack or poker. I use those kind of cards. Um, and what you also have to realize is that whenever you're doing
Uh,
divination, you need to sort of mentally or write the shit down what each possible instance of your divination and what that sort of can mean to you. And then the spirit that you have aligned yourself with will know through you your own sort of spiritual language that you've cultivated and be able to uh, help you divinate through your own personal technique. Uh, and then there's other laws of the universe that you have to take into account, and that's why I like using cards so much. Is because, and this is scientifically proven, that matter, when being observed by any of the five senses, um, it on an atomic level acts as a structure. When it is not being observed on an atomic level, it acts as a wave. Okay. Now, what do waves do? Waves transfer data. Like I work in the internet now, and everything is a wave. Okay. Or cell phone signals transferring data.
mhm.
So the cool thing about using the cards for divination, and you also having to trust that I'm not counting the cards, okay, because I do not count
Yeah,
cards at all. The card can change while they're face down into whatever cards they need to be in order for the divination to give me the message that is needed. Does that make sense?
that's deep because a lot of people wouldn't believe that.
It's scientifically
A
proven.
lot of people wouldn't
When
believe that.
when something is not being observed by any of the five senses, it does not exist as a physical structure. Those
Yeah,
cards can change and whatever cards they need to be as long as no one is counting those cards.
the almost somebody told me the other day. It's like, yo, some bugged out over. It's like, yeah, these are all simulations. It's like this person doesn't exist. Like he only exists when I go to the liquor store. So like this guy only appears in my reality when I go to this corner to go to the liquor store, and I
Yeah,
run into this guy named Jerry. He says what up every time, like or whatever, like you know what I mean. But I see Jerry nowhere else. Only place I see Jerry is out there on that corner where that liquor store at. But
well,
Jerry doesn't really exist. Jerry is only there when I'm there.
right, and that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like shit
Yeah,
like that. I was like,
and that's true for him and
like
his
they said,
own
like in the scriptures,
personal.
like I said, you could be talking to somebody, you could be talking to an angel. Right,
Right,
right, right. All in his little personal reality. Yep. That's
right,
deep.
right. Yep,
Like they will say, like, be careful who you speak to, how you speak to people and stuff, because that people could be an angel. It could be somebody there, like with the story with the donkey was talking. The donkey started talking. The donkey wasn't talking. That was a damn angel standing there in the way, ready to chop this dude's head off.
right.
Like, you know what I mean? And he think the donkey talking. Donkey wasn't talking. The donkey was moving.
No, if you see a donkey talking, you're fucking tripping balls.
bring that up, and I actually read the scripture on that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
So
think
be careful. Like he was fucking the donkey up and everything. And he think the donkey like, what the fuck you hitting me for, motherfucker?
right,
I was like, oh shit, this old bitch talking. But it wasn't. It was the angel like setting him up to kill him. And if
right,
he made the wrong move, that would have been it.
yeah,
But yeah. So like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So like that's hard for people to grasp too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like that
it is.
car is gonna turn up and be whatever.
Yeah,
Like I'm really good at the lottery. Like I'm super good at the lottery. Like I'm ahead. You know, like motherfuckers play lottery, they never ahead. Like you
right,
win $500, you don't put fucking 50,000 in that motherfucker already.
right,
Fuck you, little $500 prize. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I put like a few dollars and I win. Like when I play, like I win at least like 5 times out of like 1 time out of 5. Like I'm hitting.
yeah,
But I play once in a while, and I don't bet a lot, but I win. Like my
right.
birthday, I won on my birthday this year, July 27th, won on my birthday. And then 3 days later, I won again. And in
Hell
between that, I missed my own birth. I should have played my own birthday number, and I would have hit the play 4. And I was planning on doing it, I just never did it. Now, the numbers that I was just chasing this morning, I'm like, these motherfuckers came out like 2 days ago
right,
in the day drawing. Like I know, like I sensed the numbers, like, but I grew up my mother playing the street lottery, like, you know, legal lottery and shit like that. And my mother used to write the numbers down on the calendar every day. So we had like stacks and stacks of like old calendars, and everyone has the lottery for that day on it. And I used to study it as a little kid, just fooling around, because I'm just looking at all these numbers. And I'm noticing that certain numbers come out more frequently on certain days.
right.
You know what I mean? So there could be some kind of like there's a pattern to that shit. There's a pattern to it. But
Oh yeah, numerology is a really real thing. The thing about and a lot of people don't realize too when it comes to doing work for hire
hit the
for
like button
someone
on the way.
or
You know. Hold on one
but
second. Hold,
okay.
give me 1 second. 1 sec. You guys hit the like button on the way in, please. You hit my chat cash app also if you want to make a donation. That'll be great. And your ass will be at the bottom of the screen scrolling. Like all the other cool people. Look at all the other cool people. Bonnie Woody Druff. You got Young Heru. You got all these cool people and stuff. Jennifer. You know what I'm saying? DeAndre Green, that's her newest. You know what I mean? So you guys can put your name on the list and stuff. Donation any amount. Also make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And hit the link in the chat if you want to hop on the panel and talk and ask questions or whatever. Or you can ask your questions in the chat. However y'all want to do it. All right, let's continue.
Okay. What was I about to say?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, no, cool. When you're talking about the occult, you know me, man. I've been around this stuff so long. And I can go down so many different rabbit holes. I mean, it's just littered with rabbit holes as we talk. Just I could take this
Yeah.
conversation into any direction and go deep on that shit. So, let's see. I had a thought and I lost it.
You talking about numerology.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So the thing about numerology is that one thing about math is that math, for one, it never lies. Okay. Uh, and that it is truly the language of the universe. Okay. If there are any sentient beings besides humans in the universe, those motherfuckers are going to understand that 1 + 1 = 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So, having said that, and understanding that a lot of the spirits and energies that people work with are not only um, considered what's a demon or an angel or a god or what have you here on earth as humans, But you have to think of, God. Now I can go deep onto this too, but just take my word for it. I think that the masculine, positively charged side of God is the actual universe itself, and that includes all the 2 trillion fucking galaxies, each containing billions of uh, solar systems with even more billions of planets around those suns. Okay, so just kind of wrap your head around how big the actual observable universe is.
Right.
Okay. And you think that we're the only sentient beings that exist in the universe? I would have to beg to differ when it comes to that. So, in understanding that these beings also belong to what's called an archetype, okay, and and I call this the pyramid of divinity. These different entities and beings, as they get closer to God or the actual creator of the universe, they
Mm-hmm.
begin to mesh and become one. Okay. So, let's use my favorite, for example, which is uh Baal, the first demon of the Ars Goetia, who is also Baal. Okay.
Okay.
And he's got many other different names: Beelzebub, King Baal, Baal, all the same being, as it goes higher and higher up the pyramid of divinity. And then they begin to solidify into archetypes, and those archetypes exist no matter where you're at in the universe.
Yeah.
Okay. There's always going to be a positive energy and a negative energy. There's always going to be a masculine and a feminine. These are laws of the cosmos. These cannot be changed. Okay. Um, even something as simple as a dinner table. You can look at a dinner table and tell if it has masculine qualities or feminine qualities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even things that aren't alive, you can tell if it's more masculine or more feminine. And this also
True.
becomes subjective. It's whoever's making the call, but that becomes true for you in your reality. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's kind of circle back around to the numbers. Actual uh, quality, um, useful, results-driven magic has a lot of math involved. It has a lot of math. Um, there was even a time where I wish I could find the notebook where I did the work, but Einstein, E equals MC squared, that that's not the actual reality. Well, at least it's not the reality for someone like me, of the true nature of the universe, because E equals MC squared only equates the um the physical universe. There is no spirituality to E equals MC squared. And that goes to the Trinity, the sun, the moon, the earth, the
Yeah.
father, the mother, the child. You know, the Trinity is a really powerful uh, concept.
Yeah. And
So
so is the number three. I
yeah,
learned
so
that
it's
today. Something
actual it's
about
actually
number
E
three.
equals MC cubed. It's not E equals MC squared. Um, and I did the math. I'll have to try to find that notebook and send you the pictures. But But that's just kind of an example of how math is so important. And my favorite technique is to boiled down numbers. Like if I get a series of numbers, like maybe someone's birthday, if I get a
Yeah.
series of numbers and I'll boil those down to one singular number.
Hold on a second.
And then
We got. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll boil that down to one singular number, and then I will sort of decipher what that number means to the ultimate question or situation at hand. Okay.
Right.
You know, um,
We.
and
I
there's
don't mean to
many
stop
different
you.
techniques, but say what?
I don't want me to stop you, but we got somebody added to the screen. What's up, Food Water?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I've never done this
All right.
before.
Oh, okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, I got you. So, what did you think of what we were talking about so far?
It's all on point. It's all 100.
All right, cool.
Yeah. It's
So you never been to my channel before? Because I don't remember seeing you here before.
no, I just saw it tonight.
Oh, that's cool. All right,
Yeah.
so that's dope. That's dope. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
join in with the talk and all that stuff if you want, or just sit back and
Okay.
chill, however you want to do it. All right, you're more than welcome. All right,
Thank you.
Siberius. Sorry to cut you off, Siberius.
No, that's all
But
good. Yeah, welcome to the channel, buddy.
the Niggatrons. Now, what you called that shit the other day? When I thought you said Niggatron,
Oh, what was that?
I was like Niggatrons. I was like, what the fuck? What was that? What was that word?
I forgot what the hell we was talking about. What did I
No,
say?
you was talking about how like you can make like these certain deities can manifest by just enough people believing in it, and it's like it started as nothing. It
Oh,
started as somebody's
Egregore.
idea,
Yeah, Negregore. Yeah, Negregore.
Negagore and shit. The nigga tried. I was like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. You thought I said Negregore.
I was like, yeah, damn, fuck it, but yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so that kind of gets into the more
Because Yahweh is real.
yeah, he's real, all right.
Because Yahweh is real.
Yeah.
They basically, but that's like what you were saying though. They basically created that. They created that deity. They created that deity, yo. They created that. That's not the God of the motherfucking. That's some shit them niggas created.
Yeah, for sure.
And they always in the occult, all of them.
Right. So, and that sort of plays.
It wasn't telling nobody nothing.
And that sort of plays into the power of the universe's mental. Okay, I think, therefore I am. If enough people believe in something, it becomes real for those people. Okay.
Right.
Or like in the movie, you ever seen the movie The Skeleton Key, where they're talking about voodoo is only dangerous if you believe in it?
That's bullshit.
Right. Yeah, it is actually. But it sort of kind of like hits the nail on the head of you know, I think, therefore I am. If I believe it, then it is true for me. And those think fools of us who are dancing, or those who think fools of us are dancing, cannot hear the music. Okay. So let's get into this. Whether the angels and the demons and the spirits and all these different things that we think we are communicating with, either they are singular entities separate from you, or they are separate, or they are different parts of your psyche manifesting itself through your own will. Whichever one it is, your life is much more wonderful and magical than someone who does not believe.
Yeah.
Because I can say unequivocally from the things that I've seen that manifestation, as long as you're willing to take every physical step necessary, is absolutely real.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to become a doctor, you can't just fucking light some incense and pray to your fucking ancestors and
you become
never
a
go to
doctor.
college, you'll never be a doctor.
That's like the RZA and the Bobby Digital album was that RZA says that bitch talking about she wanted to be a nurse. I said, bitch, if you want to be a nurse, you gotta go to school first. You know what I'm saying? He said, I think that was the Bobby Digital album and shit. Yep, the RZA. He said she talking about she want to be a nurse. He said, bitch, you're gonna be a nurse, you gotta go to school first. Like, yeah, so you have to put in the work to actually, you have to hold up your end to actually make this stuff manifest. Like you said, like you looking for a job, you can't be sitting at home in your drawers every morning and shit, and somebody gonna knock on the door and say, and you gonna say, who's that? And it's gonna say job. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna happen. Oh, y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so like, yeah, you have to put in like the effort to help this thing work.
Well, and I will say this now that's true too, but then sometimes, and this could just be the creator, the universe, God itself, you know, like let's say you've got to find an apartment. Okay. And everyone knows that
Right.
apartments are super expensive these days. But I feel like if you get on Facebook Marketplace and you talking to people at the grocery store and you're calling people who also have apartments and see if there's any other apartments available, and just dead end after dead end after dead end after dead end after dead end.
That motherfucker pop up at the last time.
It'll just pop up. Someone will have a fucking super sweet deal. You know, oh, you can move in $500 a month. You don't even got to put a down payment.
You're a day from living on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
you're 1 day from living on the sidewalk.
Yeah, you'll just meet a little old lady that just, you know, her fucking sister died and she's got a fucking house empty and she's trying to make a couple dollars, like, you know, and it'll just pop up. And it's nothing that you did. You did not earn that.
Right.
But it was just the fact that you were putting it out there, that you desperately needed it, and you were doing everything that it took, even though everything that you did not lead up to that point.
Absolutely.
But you sort of just kind of earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Begging.
Yeah.
I'm begging. Get that shit 100. Begging. Oh Lord, what I'm gonna do? Oh shit. God damn. I gotta have that shit. I got 4 motherfucking hours. God damn it. Yeah. Shit, and that shit just come out the ground on your ass and shit.
Yeah.
Ground.
Yeah.
That shit just come out the ground, yo.
Yeah.
That shit, like, yo, that's me all day. That's me all day. Like, I'll stress. I already know something can happen, but you know what I mean? I act like that shit ain't gonna happen. Then they see, you know, like shit just come out of nowhere. But that's what I said too. Like when I left the Israelite cult, I was like, yo, all these other ones I was in, they all did the same shit. Like it all worked for me. Like it all worked for me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Practicing the religion, it worked. It worked. When I was doing that roster shit, that shit worked. That's why I tell people now they can get a can of Pepsi and worship and believe in that motherfucker. That motherfucker will miracles for your motherfucking ass. A can of Pepsi.
The goddamn Pepsi God.
If you believe.
Yeah, truly.
If you believe, that's the king word right there. If you believe.
That kind of goes into egregore, you know, and then you've got these people who are they say that they're witches and this and that, and they're totally against Jesus. Well, let me tell you, someone that has worked with the Ars Goetia and things of that nature, Jesus is an extremely powerful entity, and that is because there are billions of people that worship and believe that singular entity and what that entity stands for, which truly is the spirit of unconditional love and forgiveness, which is also some of the hardest things to accomplish.
Yep. Yeah, like a Christian, a mother, like somebody that's really doing it, like living it. Yeah, like they built like a fort.
Oh
Built
yeah,
like a fortress.
you've got, the way I was
Fortress.
taught is you've got Christians, which people are just in it for the lifestyle and say that they go to church and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But they're also the people that go to Pizza Hut after church and they don't leave a fucking tip. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Yeah.
Christian. And then you've got a Christ follower, someone that actually walks in the footsteps of Christ.
Yep.
And those are some of the salt of the earth best people that have ever lived and will ever live. But then you've got people who are genuinely like Christ. And let me put this out as a warning. And it is because
Yep.
man as a whole does not know Christ. Okay. And everyone that is truly,
Now Siberius about to say this. Go ahead.
yeah,
I know
someone
what you're
that
gonna say, but I don't know
yeah,
what you're gonna say. But go
yeah, someone is truly like Christ, they always get fucking crucified.
ahead.
Yeah, that's it. They get fucking like Shaman, for example. He got fucking nailed to the cross. He's still fucked up,
Mhm.
you know?
Damn.
But
Yep.
he was one of the most, like Christ people, even though he was what's considered a pagan high priest. But there are many
Yeah.
paths to heaven and to divination. Um, he was one of the most giving and forgiving people I've ever met, and he got drug over the fucking coals.
Yeah. But you
And
know what? They're always protected. Nothing bad. Like they're gonna go through all that shit, but nothing's gonna harm them.
well, yeah, I mean, he came out all right in the end, but he's fucked up after it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
you reap what you sow too.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
sometimes that shit comes into play. But you know what I'm saying? Like for most part, just like all the other, like I said, cults I've been in, like I grew up in the church and shit like that. Like from believing in it, like and following it, like it worked.
yeah,
It like you said, some things you gotta pay up front, right? And some
right,
things is on credit.
right,
When you dealing with that, it's like if you following it, it's gonna work for you, but you gotta follow it.
right.
And it tells you that. It tells you that. And the same thing when you see in magic and different all these different like occult like top religions and cults or whatever you want to call them, right? Um, they tell you, okay, this is your obligation. This is what you're supposed to do,
Right.
right? If you don't do it, like this shit ain't gonna work. Like you could end up worse. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like it ain't gonna do nothing. You might end up worse than how you came here. But if you follow it, if you believe, you know what I'm saying, that shit work for you. Do whatever the hell you ask you.
Yeah.
Like I like I said, like everything like I dealt with, like I felt the same energy. My prayers get answered. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just like you were saying before, how shit money and sometimes will just come off the ground on your ass and shit.
Oh, here
Right? Don't
lately,
ask me.
man. Oh, here lately, so I installed internet and I saw where the woman's dryer comes out the wall on the bottom of her house. And
Yeah.
there was a fucking $5 bill there. And then let's see. My mama gave my kid a $10 bill so I could take her to the trampoline park. That $10 didn't do shit. That shit cost us 50 fucking bucks. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
that's $15. And then I was at the gas station the other night, and there was $10 sitting on the ground. And then today I got a $20 tip. So like, I've really been putting it out there to like save money, and
Yeah.
money has been finding its way into my hands.
Yep.
And that's because I'm really trying to focus on saving some money and being able to survive and putting some money away. And I've been very successful at that so far, you know. But that's just kind of like one of those things where like you said, it just comes out the ground, you know, like it just pops out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's only because the universe can feel and sense the effort that you're putting out there into the ether. Okay, and it picks it up and it throw you a bone every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It has to throw you a bone.
Let's sort of circle back around, sort of kind of give people some.
Yeah,
The thing about magic is that it's truly a fucking freestyle, okay? But there's some things, you know, you kind of have to go back to this. Aleister Crowley wrote The Law. So I've always said that magic is a free for all. It's a freestyle as long as you follow the law. Okay, which you've got the Kabbalion, which is all the 7 known laws of the universe. There's actually 9, but there's the 7 known ones, the ones that are written down. But there's actually 9 of them, okay? Because like there's 9 planets, there's only 9 numbers in our numerical alphabet, and a human gestates for 9 months. 9 is a huge number, okay? So, and let's start with the basics here. And this is what I like to call medicine wheel magic. Okay, this is what the Native American shamans used, and all the witch doctors. And I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, so when it comes to divination, especially with the cards, so all the suits represent an element. Okay, so hearts, which is red, it's usually red, is water. Okay. Diamond, which is also red, is earth. Spade, which is black, is I believe I used that one as fire. And clubs is air. Okay, so clubs and spades are black. Hearts and diamonds are red. Okay, so, and those are the 4 elements. A pentagram, which everyone thinks is the devil, and is also a very powerful tool used by witches and metaphysicians, is nothing but a map of the building blocks of the universe, which are the elements. Okay, you got air, water, fire, earth, and the top one, or the top of the star, the pentagram, is spirit, or if you want to get scientific, is merely just energy. Okay, spirit and energy are the same things. So we also have to sort of break it down into its genders. Okay, if you had to guess which elements are masculine and which elements are feminine. Now, I've heard a lot of Facebook witches tell me a bunch of fucking dumb shit when I've asked this question. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? You sound retarded. Actually, earth is feminine. Or I've heard someone say, actually, air is feminine. So, no, the fuck it's not. And let me explain why. This is going to make so much sense. So, the feminine elements are earth and water. Masculine elements are air and fire. And why is that? Every living thing that has ever lived was born either in or on the earth or in or on the water. Okay, nothing has ever been born in the sky. Nothing has ever been born in fire. Okay,
yeah, that's true.
right. But what does fire do? Let's say when they do a controlled burning in a forest, it releases nitrogen into the soil, which gives nutrients and seeds life. Or let's think of like dandelion seeds. When the wind picks up and grabs the seeds of a dandelion and carries it, on the winds to go fertilize somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, so fire and air are the seed carriers, and earth and water are the wombs, just like a woman. And then you have to equate that with different parts of the physical being and time space. So we've already discussed that water equates to emotion, which is a part of your being, and the past. And then you've got earth equates to the physical body, and the present right now is earth. Okay. Air represents the mind, and the wind. You ever heard the term the winds of change, or I changed my mind? Okay. Whenever I lay a 4-card spread and I'm doing a reading for someone, I always tell them that the air card, which is the third card that I lay down, it's not going to be the card that you want it to be. It's going to be the card that you truly believe it's going to be. And that card, based on your actions, because what we do now dictates the future, is subject to change if you are to change your actions. Okay. And then we've got spade, which is the element of fire and represents your willpower. And that represents, as far as relativity, is action. Okay. The actions that you take in the present in order to dictate your future. So it's kind of like, what's the root of the problem? What's happening right now? What should you do? Or what's happening now?
Right.
What do you think is going to happen in the future, whether you like it or not? And then the last card, which is the fire card, what you should do about it. And then, of course, the person I'm doing the reading for is the fifth element. They are the conduit. They are the energy, the spirit. I'm open for questions.
Anybody? People just like to be nosy.
Because I know that was a lot. I just dropped a lot of shit on y'all.
Yep.
Why can't I see who I was watching?
What you said?
Well, so why can't I see who I was watching?
I know, that's crazy. They should have that.
You can see it. How many people we got in the chat?
Oh, you talking about how many people? It says 5.
Just 5 people?
Yep.
Okay.
Y'all watch. Nobody wanted to hit the link. This shit, it's scary and shit. Like Rob Rack.
Rob's in here?
No, I said like Rob Rack. Rob Rack, remember Rob Rack used his boxing thing?
Yeah, Rob Rack. He definitely don't want it now. I'm in fucking best shape of my life.
Yeah, man, that's like, it's mad interesting stuff. Like, I'm falling asleep. I'm getting tired of the show. I'm about to end it. We've been out here an hour. Yeah, this an hour, like 1 more minute, so we just close it up. And so
Hell yeah.
I think, thanks Food and Water for hanging out with us. Thanks to everybody that was stopped through here. Ancient Days is laughing. There's somebody else in here. Yeah, I've been here before.
My girl Becco's in here, or she is in here.
Oh, okay.
I might have a question. It might be a little off topic.
Go for it.
All right, go ahead.
So, like, the idea of the Antichrist being also messianic, a type of Messiah, where there might be a time where there's over compassion and to the point of like naivety. Say for like example, like have you ever seen the Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man?
No, I have not.
Well, it's during the '60s, so it's not like a super compassionate era, but the aliens come down and they give humanity this book called To Serve Man, and they're supposed to basically it's the panacea, and humans are just going to live in peace and perfect prosperity, and but they're deciphering the book because it's in an alien language, and some time goes by, and the alien does keep his promise, or they do keep their promise, and there's peace on the planet. And then there's a bunch of people like going to their planet, to the alien world, and they're like telling each other stories like, oh, I hear it's like this and like that. It's so beautiful. And then there's like two main characters who are tasked to decipher the book, and one of them, the male figure, he's like, well, I'm gonna go visit the planet, and he's like in line to get on the spaceship, and then his female companion, or work companion, comes running up. She says, no, stop, don't get on the book, it's a cookbook. And then they realize that basically they're just taking the humans to enslave them and eat them, and that's why they're giving them prosperity and stuff. So right. In that kind of situation, you could say that the opposite of compassion would be sort of the Messiah potential or whatever, as the Antichrist, something that's not very forgiving, not very compassionate, not very trusting, or of life in general. And I tend to kind of see life as more like Alien, like the Alien movies, where it's kind of a vicious creature. Like creatures that are born are kind of, we have to eat other animals and stuff. And maybe there will be a time where we're not doing that, but that's just kind of the nature, and it's almost kind of random. Like who I came from, my dad, my mom's good, but my dad was just an alcoholic and a drug addict. And like, I basically disowned him when I was like 4. I never liked the guy, but other people would have the opposite, so it's almost like randomized, anyway. That's like pertaining to Jesus, as Jesus was, in a similar time to today, where compassion is needed, but in another time there could be the opposite, where the Antichrist comes, and the Antichrist could be a messianic figure rather than being seen as, oh, they're always bad,
But that's what they say. I don't really put too much effort into believing into a singular Antichrist. However, this whole like over compassion that you're talking about, it really kind of rings a bell with like the evil that is taking over our culture and our community with this LGBTQ nonsense and the Democratic Party. They're bragging about abortion and being homosexuals and this and that, and just, but they mask it with compassion. But if you don't think the way that they think, then you're
exactly.
Yeah. And that's I think that's more along the lines of, I mean, it's happening now currently. That's the evil that's happening, like drag queens reading story times that involve sex to fucking children, you know what I'm saying? Or I saw videos where this little boy is in kindergarten, the dad shows up and the teacher's got the boy dressed in a dress.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I don't know about that stuff, because like didn't like the Native Americans have like a two-spirit?
Okay, all right. So there is nothing wrong with homosexuality. I truly believe you can't control it. You're born with it. Either you like vanilla ice cream or you like chocolate ice cream. Okay, you can't be taught to like something that you just don't like. However, expressing that to children Is
The
evil.
gullible ones, anyway. The gullible ones, because not all of them are gullible. So, I mean, wouldn't you say that? Because I kind of think like, I mean, because I have family that like when I was a kid, because I've never been gullible since I was like 3. Like I've always been an independent thinker and always been basically against the grain, like very against the grain since a small child, you know. And since I was 8, like I decided I wasn't going to participate in K through 12 schooling because I knew it was just regurgitating and pleasing the teachers. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to need this in adulthood. And I was right. So, but they're gullible ones. That's part of like it makes sense what you're saying.
Well,
But sometimes I get when I get like really frustrated with society, it comes down to ignorance. So like, because I have this family who used to be really religious, but they're not anymore, and they're very more like awakened now. But they used to be like when I was a kid, I was younger than them. I was a lot younger, but they looked down on me and they were like, "Oh, you don't believe in God," that kind of thing. And I didn't believe in that God. I didn't believe in that religion, the Christian, that they
right.
really just like took hook, line, and sinker. And but to me, that was evil. That was evil for them to be that way. Now they're not that way anymore, so people can change. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Like but to me, it's the gullible ones, and if they're willing to accept that, if they're that gullible, to me, it's like I almost just don't even care about them. I don't think that's necessarily evil. It's just they're following their own nature by
God damn,
doing whatever
that's
they're
kind of like
told.
what I was saying not too long ago on the channel. I was like, yo, I'm too now.
Well,
What's that?
you may be an outlier, but someone that is as um charismatic and sort of dominant as someone like myself, I could pretty much 9 times out of 10 mold any 8-year-old child into thinking and
Yeah, I believe
believing
that.
whatever the fuck I want them to think or believe. You know what I'm saying?
That's a sad
Um,
thing to me. So I
yeah,
think that's a sad thing.
that's just the way it
Siberius just
is.
fucked up my whole train of thought. I forgot what I was supposed to say. But never mind, keep going. I came back to that.
No, but
I was like, here we go.
I think this whole democracy, LGBTQ, I think that is in itself could be the Antichrist. It's definitely
You think so?
a vile and
But I
evil
thought,
thing
but
that
I
is.
thought didn't you just mention that was like over compassion though, or you said it was masked with compassion?
They mask it with compassion.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, but if you don't think the way they think, do they act very
All right.
compassionate towards you? Or do they
No.
cut you out and tell you to go fucking kill yourself and this and that, blah blah blah?
Yeah, pretty
Because
much.
you don't think the way they think. Yeah, it's a bunch of horse shit.
It's like coach
Yeah, I've
almost.
experienced that myself from that community, or not the community itself necessarily, but some like trans person.
And I have people that I know that are trans and homosexual, and they're great people. You know what I'm saying? But they're not out fucking parading
Mm,
themselves with their fucking dicks
yeah.
out in front of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Most people in that community I know are like hardcore
Yeah.
Republicans.
right, exactly. They have some fucking common sense. I know lots of gay people who are fucking hardcore Republicans. They love Trump and they love to suck dick. I mean, fuck, man, nothing wrong with that. Just don't fucking do it in front of no children.
Well, what do you think about? Because like Trump was he's known for having attended like the sexy little girl bikini pageants. Is that more like natural because it's heterosexual in that sense?
Uh, little girl bikini pageants. What are you talking about?
Siberius,
Just
don't
that.
get me flat.
Well,
Oh,
look,
sorry. No,
Got this
that's
shit
okay.
now. Like,
No,
my
that
do-
probably
like,
won't. I say that all the time on YouTube, like in comments, and the algorithm never deletes it.
my daughter has done beauty pageants, and they've had a swimwear addition to it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make everyone a fucking pedophile.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a bunch of women.
that's a sexual preference anyway. But I've heard from. Have you ever heard of the Gnostic Informant? I think that's his name on YouTube.
No.
Well, he's
Nah.
talking about, they're talking about the Hebrew translations and the Greek, like the Septuagint. They talk about that stuff.
Oh wow.
He actually, yeah, he was actually like, I was like, listen, you know, I don't speak Greek, I don't read Greek, I don't, I don't read Hebrew and stuff. So like, I'm kind of distancing myself from the Bible as I get older, even more so than before. But he was talking about how Jesus, the actual story is that Jesus was found with a little boy naked or something like that, and like, you know, because the
Yeah.
words have such cultural implications that the English is like a total, it's just wrong. Basically, it's like so much wrong
Yo,
about the
that,
English translation because they're incapable
bro,
of
this dude
actually
that I supposed to have
translating
my.
the Greek, because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you
Go
know what I'm
ahead.
saying. But yeah, he was saying that, and I was like, that seemed kind of like, it's like, really, like, is that possible to actually get that out of the Greek translation? Like, or I
You
mean, or
can't,
the Hebrew or the Septuagint, you
bro.
know,
I don't know
that's
where
who
you
Jesus
came
was.
from,
It was the
Yeah,
but
let's
I
Gnostic
don't know where you
Concordance.
came from. Check this out. The other guy that I was gonna originally have do show with, that's exactly what he was gonna talk about. He
Oh, that's
thinks
fun.
that Jesus like was like basically making like eunuchs out of all the disciples, like little castrated little boys out of all the disciples, and that he drugged all of them.
Huh. That's crazy.
He said
Yeah, that was the first
Judas
place.
was drugged. Yeah, Judas was drugged.
Wow, that's wild.
Christ
that's
drugged
what
them.
I would do.
The
That's what I
God
would do if I was running a cult. I'd make everyone cut their nuts off, and they have to submit their wives to me. If
Huh.
you wish to
yeah,
join my cult, you must. It's gonna cost you a woman and a couple testicles.
yo,
What if that
you
was the
sounded
real
just like one
Jesus?
too.
Huh?
Down south cult leader.
What
Yeah.
if
Sound
that
very
was the
sound
real?
like exactly like down south
Yeah.
cult leaders. Like you be on the AM stations, like 3 in the morning and shit. Out there
Yeah.
in the
So
woods, all you get is AM stations.
if that was the real Jesus, if that was the
Siberius
real
on their car.
Jesus, wouldn't the Antichrist be then
Yup.
the actual good one? If that was the real Jesus, wouldn't the Antichrist be the actual good one? And it's like a riddle that's actually opposite, you know?
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. It's and there's a lot of people
How
that have that train
like
of thought where they think that
you
God is,
guys breaking up. I mean, I'll
you
be right
know,
back.
okay.
Isn't that God is what the evil?
Yeah, God is the evil one. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that train of thought before. And I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. I think that uh the Christian God is not the actual creator. I
Hmm?
think he is an ancient God that belongs to a pantheon that has been uh egregored into being the ultimate God by so many people believing. I mean, even even though you have Christian and Jewish and Islam, we all reference God. So it's all the same God. You know what I'm saying? So think about how many people belong to those three religions and how many people put energy and effort into believing into that being. But I don't think that the Christian or the Islamic or the Judaic God is the only one. I think that it goes a level even higher to an actual creator, which is truly the universe itself. And I believe that uh, both spiritual and physical entities exist because we are God, and God chose to create sentient beings because eternity by yourself really sucks. So why not make more of yourselves in order to pass the time of eternity? That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's much more complicated, but then at the same time, it's a much simpler thing that being alone
So,
fucking sucks.
yeah.
Yep.
So like, then that God would be one, like sort of like the idea anyway would be a representative of the pantheon, and then same thing with Jesus is kind of a representative of a pantheon, and Mary and the Antichrist, as far as like there's Kali
Well,
in the
like I was
East.
talking about the archetypes before, Jesus belongs to an archetype, the Messiah archetype. There has been more than just one Christ. You know what I'm saying? And there's people alive
Mm.
today that fit the script, fit that bill.
Yeah.
I do think that the God that Christians and Muslims and Jews reference is very high up the pyramid of divinity, very close to the creator. I mean, we're talking about some very powerful entities here. Especially as much energy is put into these energies or entities by humans, you know what I'm saying? And who else knows what other energies they're absorbing from other life forms in the universe that also pray to gods that fit that archetype. So who knows just how much effort is being put
Mm.
into them. Just like whenever I found the fucking $5 bill here and the two $5 bills there and the $20 tip here, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
It's because I was putting that out there, okay? Because I need to save this damn money to take my kid on a cruise on her birthday, okay? Well, I
Right.
think that these entities, they sort of feed off of sort of that same brainwave, even if it's praying to a god, but really like putting a lot of effort and putting that out there that you're praying that your loved ones get home safe from their vacation, or that you get that new job promotion, or that your car don't fucking break down because it's having some trouble and you gotta make a run to town, and you're praying that your car don't break down while you're gone. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same brainwave. It's all the same amount of effort being put out there. So what I'm saying is, if let's say Jesus that fits, he is the tippy top of a certain archetype, and let's say, on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, we've got some aliens, and they have a figure that fits the same archetype, and they're putting energy and praying, and they've cultivated spiritualism within their society, and they're putting energy and prayers into a being that is just the pinnacle of the Messiah archetype, that as Jesus and their being climbs higher up that pyramid of divinity, they begin to mesh into one as they get closer to the creator. Does that make sense?
You mean like in another kind of dimension, so to speak, maybe?
No, I
So
mean
like afterlife?
they already are in another dimension, and that's actually another thing I like to kind of touch on too. Is that especially Christians, they believe that there's only one God, and that is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And if you're good, you'll go to heaven, and if you're bad, you'll go to hell. Well, wouldn't you think that the spiritual realm is a higher dimension than ours? So that being said, think about just how complicated this world is. The third dimension, up, down, side to side, forward, backward. Uh, hey, buddy, where are you at? What state and town are you in?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in California, in the Sacramento area.
Okay. Now think about, and I'm actually in Leesville, South Carolina. So think about how many fucking people, how many homes, what does it look like inside those homes? Think about that. How many different people and animals and plants are between you and me right now? It's
Yeah, you
almost
think about it.
unfathomable to think of. Now, why would
Yeah.
you think that a higher dimension would be simpler than a lower dimension?
That's a good
Jesus
point.
is very powerful, but he ain't the only one. Yahweh is very powerful, but he is not the only one. There's no way. There's even more than one Donald Trump. His name is fucking Vladimir Putin. He's a fucking big dog too. You know what I'm saying? There's not even just one big giant political figure. There's multiple.
So yeah, so like them having just one singular God is unrealistic. Is that what you're trying to say? Christians and Muslims,
No,
or
I think there is one singular creator. I definitely do, but everything below that, there's more than one. There has to be.
Hmm.
Now, who's to say that there aren't other unfathomable universes, a multiverse, and each one of those multiverses has its own creator? You know, I'm not saying. I mean, now we're getting super crazy and super Marvel fucking Studios deep here. You know, but who knows? I mean, that's just unfathomable for us to know.
Mm.
But I think for the simplicity of the context of what we're talking about, there's only one creator. But everything below that is just the creator duplicating itself in many different archetypes and extravagant ways, because being your own singular person for eternity fucking sucks. So I feel like
yeah,
the
literally.
creator started with gods and spiritual beings, and then that sort of manifested into physical beings, and all for the sake of not being alone. But yeah,
Yep.
fellas, I do have to go to work tomorrow. Let's go ahead and end this motherfucker.
Well, thanks. Thanks for taking my question.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right,
All
y'all
right.
have a good night.
You too, buddy.
All right.
I'll probably
All
stick
right.
around.
Awesome. That was a cool extra 20 minutes. That was dope.
Yeah, that was cool.
Dope.
Cool shit.
Uh-huh. Yep. So yeah, we gonna continue on a part 2 on this and stuff. We can talk about some other stuff. I had in mind what I wanted to start off on the next one, but I lost it and stuff.
I
I think
actually have some.
I dozed off for like a few minutes and stuff.
I got some more bunny holes we
I
can
hope
go
you didn't
down.
get me flagged there. Huh? Because I know you start talking about glory holes
Oh
and all
yeah.
kinds of other crazy shit. And next thing you know, and shit, I got like some YouTube down my throat about something.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot. I can't leave you on here alone, yo. I can't leave your
Right.
ass on here alone. Hell no. Shit.
But I've got some more glory. I'm going to say rabbit hole. I'm going to say glory holes. Yeah, I've got some more glory holes we can go down. No problem. I've got some more rabbit holes we can go down. I've got some more crazy ideas and concepts that we can discuss.
Okay.
Hey,
Man.
here's the thumbnail.
Yeah,
You need
man.
to put as a thumbnail for our next video. You need to put a glory hole. Come on down the glory hole with Siberius.
Yeah. Just put a hole with somebody's eye looking through it and shit. Yeah. I could definitely gonna do that shit.
Yeah, do
Yep.
that shit.
Definitely gonna do that.
Or or have a
But
mouth
like,
with a
yeah, that shit is
or have a mouth through the hole
that shit is
going
crazy.
with a goatee around it. That'd be funny as fuck.
See now, you start getting out of control and shit. Next thing you know, I got a strike and shit. I can't fuck with you. I can't take your advice on none of this shit.
No, just do a mouth smiling with a on the other side of a wall with a hole, and make sure there's some hair around the mouth. That'd be some funny shit. All right, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one.
Good night. Yeah.
I kicked myself off. Oh, you left? Oh shit. All right, y'all. Thank you all you guys for tuning in and stuff. Hope my friend I met today and stuff tune in. That'd be cool. I wish you would talk in the chat or something that came on the panel. But anyway, yeah, if anybody want to donate and stuff, you hit my Cash App. Use any other YouTube portal to make a donation, and I add you to the supporters list at the bottom, or you become a member and stuff. Be a big dog, be at the front of the list and shit with your stars, and get your star and your stickers and all that stuff on the channel for being a member. Merch. I think I'm gonna start doing merch on the channel, but I gotta get a little bit more time. I gotta get more comfortable and stuff that I can design all the stuff. What else? Oh yeah, a lot of this other stuff. Did y'all see like the black man hanging on the back of the $20 bill video Son ever made? I hope he doesn't believe that. I seriously hope he doesn't believe that. I didn't watch it, but a Hebrew Israelite made up the meme for that. So I don't know. That's another show. But thank you guys. We had a great show. Tonight was like one of the best shows in a while. So I hope now all these people like piling up in here. Hit the like button though. You catch it on the replay. I'm about to end this joint. Yeah, make a donation if you guys like. Get on this supporters list. We're gonna be doing a lot more occult topic videos with Siberius and some other people and stuff. I know you're out there, and anybody's welcome to join in and talk. So with that, y'all, thank everybody for watching. I'm Killer B the Witchfinder General. You got a witch, I'm burning their asses up, and I'm out. Peace.